After Effects 2023 is out, and in today's video we are gonna have a look at some of the new features. So here at the beginning, when we click on New Composition, we can see that we got some extra presets for social media. So if I wanted to switch from 1920 by 1080 to 1080 by 1920, then I will be just clicking on this, and as you can see, the dimensions have changed. So from now on, it will be easier for us to create posts for social media. If you want to share something, then within just 2 clicks, we can change the dimensions according to social media. Next, we got colorful keyframes. So from now on, if we wanted to memorize the keyframes, we can add colors to them. And to do that, we can select the keyframes, right click, go to label, and as you can see here, green is selected. So these are green. And if you wanted to select only certain colors, so let's say if I change this to yellow, so select the keyframes, right click, go to label and change this to yellow. We got yellows here as well. So I select the yellows and then right click, go to select keyframe label group, and then check this one, visible keyframes on all layers. So this will select all the yellow keyframes. So if I want to move them, I can move them all together, only the yellow ones. And that could be useful. Next one, we can now export the videos without having to use any type of extra plugins for it like we've done before. And to do that, we go to composition up here, add to render queue, and then we got this extra setting, so I'll delete the other one that I have. So if we go to output module here, we can see that we got H.264 here at format tab, and that means we can export the video in MP4. So if you wanted to change the settings, we could go to format options, and we got some extra settings here. I'll just click OK, and if you go to output module, click on this, and as we can see, we have 3 presets, so basically high, low, and standard ones. Next, we got renewed track mattes. So if I zoom in here, we got text layer and then background layer, and we got this options for track matte and parent and link. So if I do it this way now, so with parent and link, I parent it to winter, I parent the background to the winter text layer. And if I move the text layer now, both of the layers will move together, both the background and the text. So I'll press Ctrl Z to undo and zoom in again. So if I do it the other way with track matte pick whip, so as you can see, we got this here, which is new, and we can parent this just like that. I parent it to the winter, I'll press Ctrl Z. We could either do it this way from this tab, we could parent it to the winter, or just use the track matte pick whip tool. So if I parent this way, now these are masked. As you can see, the background is masked to the text layer. And another option to it, no matter how many layers there are, we can still parent to the text. So if I add more layers to this, so right click, go to new, add an adjustment layer, move this down, or doesn't matter where the layer is, right click, new, shape layer, and while having this selected, I can draw a shape, and then we can, no matter how many layers there are, we can still parent them together as track matte using this track matte pick whip. So now it's parented here, as you can see the changes taking place, or we can just do it this way. Rather than using track matte pick whip, we can do it this way, so parent it as track matte to winter. So as you can see, we have them all parented to the winter, and before that we would have to duplicate the layers too many times in order to parent them together. And what we had here on the left side, they moved to the right here. So this one is alpha matte, and if I click on this, it turns to luma matte. And if I want to invert, we go to the right side and click on this. So now it is inverted. Next, we got about 50 new animation presets. So if you go to effects and presets and then type in hand, we can see we got this hand drawn effect. So if we double click on it to add, you can see the change. It turns it into an hand drawn effect. And if you wanted to highlight this with an arrow, then we will be creating a shape layer. So right click, go to new shape layer, call this arrow if you want, and then we go to effects and presets, type in arrow, we got this right on arrow, and then we double click on it to add to the shape layer. And if we play this, you can see the arrow coming up, and we can change this black color that we have here to white by changing the fill color. And then if you want to make this arrow smaller, we will press U to view the keyframes and then go to this end keyframe. We can change this to 75 or even less. And if you want, we can rotate this, or press R and then rotate this, and while having selection tool selected, we can move this so that we can highlight it.